Desde el hondo cruzo de la patria se levanta el clamor popular, ya se anuncia la nueva alborada, todo Chile comienza a cantar, recordando el soldado valiente, cuyo ejemplo se hiciera inmortal. Enfrentemos primero la muerte, traicionar a la patria más. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Campesinos, soldados y obreros, la mujer de la patria también, estudiantes, empleados, mineros, cumpliremos con nuestro deber, sembraremos la tierra de gloria, socialista será el porvenir, todos juntos haremos la historia, a cumplir, a cumplir, a cumplir. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer.
Okay, let's see here. You'll have to pardon me there. We've been getting a little bit of smoke from the Canadian wall. Hey, Lizzie, don't leave us. Kitty's leaving. I have not done one of these in a while, and you'll notice that, yes, I dyed my hair. Well, let's see. And I use this new brand that I had never seen before, because here's the thing, I've been going gray since I was, like, in my teens. I was getting gray hairs when I was, like, 16 years old, and I was completely gray by the time I was 30, almost completely gray. I mean, I've done streams where my hair is like, but anyway, we're not. But yeah, I'm just saying that, just admitting to that. I'm not too proud to admit to a little bit of vanity here and there. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, a hit. But I have not done one of these in a while because about a couple of months ago we were very, very. Oh, hold on, delete. Yep. Number one, I need to get a lot of writing stuff done, and you really can't stream that. And then number two, let's see here. Just get my camera up there correctly, and hopefully my voice is going out as best as I can. My microphone here, this thing of a jig, it just decided to stop working, so I'm having to use my webcam mic, and I'm hopefully that's it's not coming across too much distortion. So anyway, as I said, I have not done one of these streams in a while. Blah, blah, blah. And it was first because I had to do writing, and number two, our save system was less than ideal. It was you only could save on exit, which took a lot of like agency out of the player's hands, and we replaced that with F3 to save, F5 to load, and we're trying to get it. Because of just unfortunate stuff that happened in the early days of the development, mostly, well, again, centered 100% around those people who just came in and screwed with the project for anyway. The save system was not exactly the best. It was unsteady. People were being loading up into places they had not saved, up and below things, dropping through the game world and everything. and we had to have a better save system in place before we could really focus on anything else at that point. Because understand, considering that Peace Island has so much to do with like observation and reading and looking around and discovering stuff, and making your own notes. I'll show that to you, by the way. That without a decent save system, playing Peace Island was like reading a book that each time you started, you had to start over from the very beginning. It was just not a very good situation. So we worked on that and we got it stabilized. And then the biggest thing, Lance, our coder, he was occupied with other things. Our previous lead coder, he was preoccupied with other things, but he was finally able to assist us this last week with getting the uh, evidence map system working within the save. And I'm going to show, like I said, I'm going to show you that bit right now. I just want to see. Sorry, hit impact. Pardon. Again, this is what game development is. Hit impact effects. That's what we take a look. Let's see. Yeah, play. That's not good. Let's see what. Oh, that's good. See here? That's what we were using before, actually. That is precisely the one. Just make sure. Check these. That's too lava, and that's too weak. So really, that's the one what we wanted. So what we want here, number one. See. But bottom line, the other day, we were engaged in this process of upgrading the project to a more recent LTS of Unity. And the problem, and in that process, I discovered that unfortunately, at a certain point, the object spawner script got deactivated across all objects. Well, not all objects, but a heck of a lot of objects, which meant that I had to go back in and basically it meant I knew that the drones were not working. I just recently fixed that. But then I realized, oh my goodness, let me see, the butterflies no longer work. Which the player's supposed to hunt for food. I mean, if they want some. Let me see. The fireflies at night were not spawning on time. And let me see what else. See. Yeah, Mr. Radio, the cryptid, was not showing up, and plus, because of some sort of weird scripting, I don't know, because things are embedded within embeds, the streams, the little creeks that are out by the wetlands on the eastern side of Peace Island were not there. You heard them. You could hear the trickling water, but when you walked over, it was just dry and empty, and it was rather shocking to see that all those things were gone. So, we are just so very close to something we want to send to a publisher. We can send to a publisher. It's just that this. Well, here's the thing. It's good that we discovered these problems before we sent this off to a publisher, because if you don't have these, like they're a heck of a lot of story related sort of like little spawning things and aesthetic spawning things just make the game a little bit more interesting and nice. And unfortunately, because of things, I do not know why a lot of that was disconnected, and I got to hook those systems up, and that's what I'm doing right now. And right now we're just trying to make sure that we got Mr. Radio working again. We want to put in hit O2 as the flash effect. Oh, this is a little backdoor. Here's the I've never a piece. Mr. Radio is a Peace Island's like resident cryptid, and here's the I have never been much of a fan of cryptids. I mean, thankfully, right now, the whole cryptid community is more about ironic enjoyment rather than it is about seriously believing this stuff. To me, every one of them just reeks of just silliness. I mean, Mothman and so on and so forth. I mean, people have embraced Mothman because it really helps the community out there. People come out there for the Mothman Festival, and anything in West Virginia that brings in commerce, they desperately need it. So yes, definitely, I'm in charge of that. Sorry, I'm not in charge, but in favor of that. But to me, cryptids were just always just. I just never really understood the appeal. Now, max distance, the audio is. That is the. Okay, volume on that is. Volume on music is 0.5. I'm going to bring down the music. And let's just see. Actually, there was something else. Yeah, I think it's just you cannot go in and change parts for the texture. It's sort of annoying, but we're going to find a way. Just go in and inside one of those and unwrap. But anyway, let's just test this. If you've played the game or the releases up till this point and found the podcast in the tent in the forest that's sort of to the north. Making sure that this. Oh, come on, Kitty. That when when it disappears, there's a flash, visual flash. Ooh, there were two of them. That's not good. How come I heard two? Maybe because it is not set to destroy after. Let me just see. And actually, I want that hit. Why is it? Yeah, it's like playing it. I have to modify that script that allow me to. Basically, actually, yeah, I can do that quick. Yeah, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Hmm. You're gonna have to deal with me just typing. This is the excitement of game. D spot. I got this attachment to Visual Studio, and it allows me to more quickly put this code. And yes, it's AI, but hey, here's the thing. Just say, I will say, I was trying to avoid using, and we are actively avoiding Um, we are actively avoiding the use of AI, but here is the problem. Um, I was speaking to our former coder Lance, and he said during his to do his most recent gig doing coding for a company in San Diego, everybody was using AI to either check their code or to straight out write it. And after that, I figured, well, if that's where the pro coders are doing, I guess I am entitled to do it as well. Because I could just identify an entire block, you know, and just immediately, just over to the side, to just go to please tell me what's going. It's just because I mean, if you've never had to deal with C sharp code, you trust me, you don't know the pain. It is just such an annoying. It's coding is just so right brained. It's just very difficult to wrap my brain around. But the thing is I've learned so much in the process of making this game that I tell you there are a heck of a lot of things that were very opaque to me before they're very clear. Sorry, it's got to take into account the new code. Live updates. I don't know whether it's my processor. It's probably my processor and my graphic card, but my things are not as fast as they used to be on this machine. Start. Okay, so let's see here. Ooh, that's not good. Let's just see here. We're going to undo that. There we go. Because that just basically deactivates everything. Proximity despawn. Fresh. But now that I've got Mr. Radio in a position more or less that I would like him to be, where he disappears and I can get the flash in and the sound effect of him disappearing, or her, I want to go into the main scene and check our Firefly situation, make sure that that's still working. Uh, yeah, this is just something that comes up every time. It's a recurring crap. And these, as boring as these streams always were, and still are, back in the day, when Annapurna Interactive was still like a game studio, they always had somebody that was like tuned into the streams to either watch them or record them. They're not here anymore, and I'm always alone. Alone. Oh no, there's somebody here. Oh, BK Louie, you there? Yeah, if you're there, I could talk to you right now. I'm sorry, I didn't even have the chat open because I don't assume anybody watches these. But yeah, what BK Bluey is referring to down there, if anybody is still watching this, and again, I apologize for not seeing this earlier. Um, I worked on the first episode of Dora the Explorer, and I was just a colorist. There was nothing really, glamorous about my job. We were using, this. Oh, I never saved this scene. My goodness, this is my word. I'm just gonna get rid of call this mirror radio. And here's the thing. And this is sort of off Peace Island, but hey, this is Grandpa Eric. I'm always all rambling all over the place. So while this is doing that, I'm just going to show you what this individual is talking about. Now, if you go to Dora the Explorer, 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 Dora the Explorer. Let's see, Wikipedia. Let's go because that's usually Wikipedia. Let's see, development. If you go to the Wikipedia page, it will tell you in 1995, Chris Grefford, Valerie Walsh, and Eric Weiner began developing a television series called The Knockarounds. And this is incorrect. Dora the Explorer was invented by a woman from Poland that was a former animator over there. If you're not aware, I mean, that's why we had such weird animation styles in the 1990s, like Rugrats and stuff. It was so radically different from anything before. It's because there were a hell of a lot of animators that came over from the former Eastern Bloc countries in the Soviet Union, and they brought their very odd style. Klasky Chupo, as an example. Did Klasky Chupo do Rugrats? I'm not familiar with that. But anyway, these individuals here had nothing to do with the creation of Dora the Explorer. It was actually created by this Polish woman, and I forget her name. I did a YouTube video about, like, because a while ago I was trying to find this. I mean, I had totally forgotten her name. Now, up on her website, she is allowed to take credit for the creation of the characters, but here's the problem: is I know that she was responsible for the creation of the animation of the first episode as well. And anyway, she never got the credit she deserves. From what I understand, she got paid $15,000 for Dora the Explorer, which eventually went on to, literally make how many billions of dollars worldwide? There was a Dora network at one time. And I mean, I just remember one day we were working, I was just doing my cell coloring work and screwing up as usual. And we were just told, don't talk to the woman, she's been cut out. And I was like, okay, I never talked to her much anyway. I saw her a couple of times. I think I spoke to her once. But anyway, we just heard, she was cut out. She's been kicked out, and if she got paid $15,000. And here's at that time, I'm going to get back to Peace Island stuff. In fact, soon. Let's see, on hour past. Okay, on day, on night. Yeah, on night actions, I don't see the spawning of the fireflies. That's been removed, so I got to add those. So, like I said, I'm gonna get back to Peace Island. And here's the thing: when we learned that, I didn't think too much of it. None of us were really big fans of the show. I'm a map. I'm a map. I'm a map. I'm a map. And no offense to the BK Bluey. But I'll tell you a story. While we were working on this, we had a friend come over from Iceland named Kjartan Arnason. Big, tall guy. But then again, everybody in Iceland, big, tall guy. But he said he just sat there and he watched it. And in his very, Icelandic. Now I see why American children are so stupid. Actually, I did that a little bit too, Eastern European there, but you get the sentiment. But here's the thing: Kjartan can call it stupid, but honest to God, it was a worldwide sensation. And again, when I went to that Wikipedia page and I saw those people claiming the creation of Dora the Explorer, it got up my butt because at a certain time, by the way. Let's go back to that Wikipedia page because I remember it literally just said Chris Gifford. And I think after a certain amount of time, Valerie Walsh they said, okay, we may have to spread, a little bit of credit around. So really, Chris Gifford, I looked him up on Twitter. He has he had, God, he had like fewer followers in my personal account back when I was on Twitter. I'm never calling it X, and we actually deleted our accounts on Twitter both my personal and the corporate account, our company account, because we didn't want Elon Musk to be able to say, "Oh, count us among the users of Twitter." Um, if you're not aware, and I know that, geez, I've made this on all over social media. We are proudly anti-Trump, um, and I do not like a South African ketamine fiend running roughshod over our government. And that's just the slightest, that's just one of my many, many complaints. Mm. But that's another thing that I had a video about entirely. So let me see. Let's check our butterflies. Do we even have the butterflies still in here? Because I remember Firefly spawner. See, the Firefly spawner's gone. Jeez. All of this up. But what was I looking for before that, though? I was looking for butterfly spawner. I bet the code's gone, too. Yep. Oh, there we go. Spawn time, 3 minutes. Distance from player, 15 distance. Okay, the butterflies still work. So let me revise this document here. So really, butterflies are solid. Fix fireflies. And I fixed fixed streams. But like I said, I was going to show you a little bit of something that I added because if you're not aware, Peace Island. Sorry for the Rick Sanchez there. And by the way, I've not watched Rick and Morty in years. I mean, even before Dan Harmon got into the crypto and NFT crap. Now I'm suddenly talking like Rick Sanchez. Go figure. Anyway, what was I going to do here? Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys, and this is really where I need to get off. I need to leave because this is just going to be me squinting at the screen and grunting. And there's little I could talk about that's of much interest. I mean, I've had 4 people talk. I mean, the one person that was willing to talk, I totally ignored them until it was too late. And it is what it is. And now more people know, that Dora was not invented by those people. And it just annoys me. Especially when a woman doesn't get credit. It just does. And you're trying to virtue signal, Eric. Oh, screw you. If you're in that frame of mind, just like recognize is just acknowledging that a woman didn't ever got due credit for something that she created. I'm virtue signaling. Yeah, right. Okay. So stream that actually streams is done. Fireflies, and I was going to show you that. I just want to make sure the game manager are at test mode. Yeah. And this is going to seem really minor, and it is, but I'll tell you why it's sort of important. We have a quest log in the game, and it keeps track of the quests that you're on. Now, there are so many other hundreds of details that if you pay attention in the game, from things you read in books and magazines and letters, to paintings you see on the wall, to just things happening at certain times of the day that are not covered in the quest log. And it would be very difficult to include those without making the quest log incredibly just huge and like annoying and hard to keep track of. And it would also violate something, force us to do something that I really don't like. Because if every little detail is included in a quest log, then we're really holding the player's hand and telling them this detail is important, this detail is not. This is a game that we want the player to form their own theories about what is going on and what they think is important. Yeah, and one of these days we're going to get the soundtrack better orchestrated. One moment. It's very sharp at times still. But yeah. and hopefully it's working. I mean, really, considering I'm streaming, I'd be not surprised at all. Sorry, my hand is constricted. Let's see here. Yeah, we have this thing. When you hit the little tilde key up on the upper left hand, you have this. And what you do is it's sort of like a map, and you can go, okay, I met Brian Connor. I read something about Brian Connors, and Brian share. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, that I found about that guy. Okay, I know about this guy, but I found out something important about him in a letter or something that I consider important. So I add a string, and I add a card, and I go, let's go, likes blueberry ice cream. And you can connect that. You can see there's a little bug there. And you can change the color of the stripe. You see when one is moved, when the original one moved, we still have a little bit of a bug there. And you can zoom out. And here's the thing. I'm sorry. Go out of there, and it's still there. And this is also everything that the player adds in here, from all the cards to the data in the cards to the strings and the color of the strings, is saved along with all the other data that's required for the save. And it still requires a little bit of a visual touch up, but when I was thinking about how do we include something something like this, and the only way would literally be put it 100% in the hands of the player. Have it something that they can define for themselves. And so, really, this save issue basically killed us for about 3 weeks. Well, it didn't kill us. Other stuff was continuing to be done. And and yesterday I was in the mind frame where we could upgrade to the new LTS, and that is when I discovered, our spawners don't work, as we saw. I mean, thankfully, it looks like some things do work, but some things do not. I want to make sure, because I mean, when night falls in the game, it can get very dark and very and I would like it just so that when the player there's stuff going on, and the fireflies were just an elemental part of that, because when I tell people about this, I don't know, I'm like, we're trying to create a game that's just sort of like you're visiting the island, and you proceed at your own pace, doing what you want to. But trust me, eventually you're going to come across a clue somewhere, a book. Man, there's something about that original connection, that first connection. Because you see here, that string doesn't reappear, but this one does down here. I think there's something related to that first box there. But I mean, when you move that box again, that disappears. It isn't a killer, but it's kind of annoying. Oh, I see. Hold on. Yeah, when you change the string's color, that's when this happens. I would also like it so that the player can change the colors of the boxes. I mean, really, what I should do is just keep the strings all one color. Allow the player to change the color of the boxes. Tell me your opinion down below in the comments. But anyway, guys, gals, and those in between, here's the thing. I got to get these systems going, and I wanted to stream for just a bit, just to prove that we're still here. Sorry for being around away for a while, I think I have not done one of these in about a month. But, in the end, we just were doing very boring stuff that was either too story intensive or too boring or both for to be worthy of a stream. Not like this is an exciting show, but anyway. And by the way, again, BK Blue, very sorry for missing your chat. I had my my coding up here. And, but yeah, I think once we get this these spawners back working, I still anticipate. I was hoping on getting something off to a publisher. I keep on saying this coming Monday, this coming Monday, this coming Monday. I think we are genuinely this coming Monday going to be able to send something off to the publishers. And one thing that makes me think is back one of the publishers that we're going to be sending this to was expressing its interest during the days of the scammers. And considering all the stuff those guys did, going after our ability to advertise on Facebook and everything, I do not doubt that they probably went to that one publisher and badmouthed us as much as they possibly could. We've got other publishers that are interested, so if they did succeed in that, well, they're petty little people. Hmm. Oh, and by the way, if Mike Shiranovsky, oh, I'm sorry, Amy Elizabeth Shiranovsky is watching this, he was like the ringleader of the scammers. Trust me, I don't worry. I'm going to be doing a video about you, Amy Elizabeth, there, and probably a couple of weeks once we get things sent off to publishers. And I will be, unfortunately, having to dead name you because your association with Brett Dunham, who routinely changes his name. And when you see the video, Amy, you are not going to be very happy. But here is the thing. Amy, I know that the state of New York paid for a great part for your transition, which, by the way, I respect, and hopefully it's empowering for you. But I know there are invoices that you never submitted to the state of New York. So here's the thing. When this video comes out about you, Amy, trust me, you have two choices, just as Brett Dunham has. Either accept the truths that are going to be coming out about you, or pick a fight that you're going to lose. Hey, Wayne, is very sorry. Oh, well, geez, just as I'm about to leave, Wayne comes up. Yeah, hey, Wayne. I haven't done a stream here on YouTube. I'm just talking to one of the guys in the chat, and I really should. Wayne, how you doing there? I was just showing people this. And Wayne, wouldn't you agree that it would be better not to have colored strings, but to have colored boxes? To create an evidence map, the player's evidence map. And also you can delete the strings by right-clicking on them, and the boxes by right-clicking on them. I need to revise the manual page for that, because I didn't think I'd actually ever get this working. Yes, Wayne says colored boxes. I'm thinking red string to keep, because we all know the Always Sunny meme. Charlie Day conspire. Yeah, I misspelled that. Conspire. Thank you, Google. Yeah, I wanted this. Open image tab. Yeah. I wanted the player to get this to basically be like Charlie Day while seeing, just figuring it all out for themselves, and maybe you can see how he like wrote over them. That would be another neat feature where people could just just scrawl on top of it. At all, maybe. But yeah, that's actually relatively easy to do. I believe so. That'll be cool. And the boxes should encompass the entire text. I set these prefabs up not in the best way. Maybe could be handled better before I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm not going to get bogged down in the weeds on this. Right now we have it working. And again, it seems that this color change really screws with the string, its origin, its first connection. It doesn't happen if you keep the string white. Oh no, it does actually. Let me see. Also, clicking on the string is well nigh impossible. So let me see. No, happen. So it's universal among all colors. Okay, but again, it's not a game killer because you can again just drag it over, get rid of it. But yeah, so I think universally red string and just boxes that they can click on with a border, and the border changes. So that would be so much because yeah, say like red for the principal character that they're making notes on, blue for whatever. They can decide whatever the hell the colors mean. And again, that was the idea. Leave it up to the player to decide what's important to them, because there are again every one of the 700 pages of plus the text you see in the game has something related in the game, related to the overall story in one way or again, we can't list them out and lay them all out for the player. We'd rather leave it up to the player to again decide what part of the story is most important to them, because blah blah blah. I could go on forever. Wayne, anything else up with you? I heard any good jokes lately? All right, let's end on a good joke. Okay. What's the difference? This is a Dan Harmon joke, so don't blame me. What's the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea? Yeah, we'll cut. Wayne, we'll pick this up in the our company chat once I give the punchline and we end. All right, all right. So again, what is the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea? The answer is Donald Trump doesn't pay 5,000 rubles to have a garbanzo bean in his mouth. But poosh. Have a good evening, ladies and germs. Take care.